needed tool that finally gives the Coast Guard real-time data to monitor the nation's waters. But the opposition leader said since the Prime Minister admitted to intentionally withholding information about the time for Prasad Pisesa to address the nation with all the facts, the opposition leader today asked some questions of her own.
The people of Trinidad and Tobago are entitled to know what is happening to the data that is collected by that reader. The people of Trinidad and Tobago are entitled to know where would that information be installed and whether Trinidad and Tobago has any access to that reader.
Those were your 6 a.m. news headlines. We'll have another news update at the top of the hour, right here on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Network.
Morning Brew is brought to you by Omega XL. Live long, stay strong.
Yes, let the music play, man. It's Christmas, so let me chip in. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the first day, the 4th of December, 2025. Jason Williams signing on. Welcome to the Morning Brew. We say happy holidays, seasons, greetings, Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, however you describe this time of the year. Well, I can safely say it's a beautiful, beautiful time. It brings out the best, and I always say sometimes, unfortunately, the worst in us. Let's lean towards the former as opposed to the latter. Let's take this moment to bring out the best in us, that sense of charity, love, care. And if we could maintain this energy throughout the year, oh, what a beautiful Twin Island state and by extension world it would be. Let's get into the full details, our news cycle. We see what's happening via the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian because there is lots to unpack this morning. So let me get to the news cycle immediately. And it says this morning, back pay bacchanal. Well, I tell you, who's writing the script? So apparently, the PSA president and the CPO, they are clashing again over a non-cash option for public servants in terms of the remaining payout. Thomas says it was not part of the agreement. Now, from what we understand, cash will be readily available on or before December 23rd. But in terms of the remaining payment, I suspect there's going to be bonds. They can't pay them in voucher and Sorrel? No. I suspect there's probably going to be some kind of bond arrangement. But there are many who they just want cash in hand. And that's going to be clearly a particular dance they'll have to negotiate into the new year. If you want to get details on that story, it's inside our Guardian newspaper, the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian, page 5. Also, the Prime Minister and the opposition leader, war is a strong word, but I guess in terms of what's happening, and I guess the way the politics, the tone of the politics these days, probably, yes, appropriate to say, war over the radar in Tobago. Lots of debate here and there. Someone on the TPP platform said it's a Christmas gift to Tobago. There are others who are suggesting, well, we never asked for this. Are they putting us right in the line of fire in case anything jump out? So, and there are others who are also defending and saying, well, the radar is there for surveillance and to give that layer of protection as it pertains to the maritime borders, the maritime, the ecosystem, the framework that is Trinidad and Tobago. And let me tell you, it's what I call a circular argument. And my question, I guess, is Tobago any safer, any different without the radar? I think naturally, if anything was to take place, because we are Trinidad and Tobago, Tobago would definitely be in the line of fire, in the mix. But then we're not there. I think, obviously, at this point in time, we could all see firsthand two things taking place. The military posturing, it's probably part of the moving of the chess pieces as it pertains to any land engagement. That's not the reality just yet. And I don't think it might transpire anytime soon. And what we could safely say also, because again, that part is uncertain, but I think we're getting a clearer picture as to why the U.S. are in the region. And you're hearing more and more Republican strategists and more people from the Republican Party. This is in the U.S. This is not Caribbean politicians or locals saying this. I'm looking at lots of the foreign news outlets. And more you're seeing people coming out and speaking openly about Venezuela's oil and the potential for American companies to go in and to really tap into that resource and to make Venezuela rich again and to basically monopolize and to reap the fruits of the natural resource that exists in Venezuela. Not Jason Williams saying so, Republican strategists and people who sit in high office in the American government. They are the ones suggesting that. So it goes right back to what many have suspected from the very jump. It was always about regime change to get access to the oil. You know, it's not about being friends and really caring, you know, it's about having vested interests. And that has been, again, when you sit back and you look at this through strategic lens over the years, you've recognized that that's been part of the mandate when it comes to U.S. foreign policy. Why did they go and help places, Sudan and Haiti and places? No resource at this point in time. They go to places where there is much to be gained. And we look at this again through not trying to disrespect the U.S. or anything. I mean, I have family there, I enjoy going there. But it's just part of their foreign policy. That's been the particular template we would have witnessed and seen firsthand for many years. And I mean, as recent as when I was way younger, I find it's a very similar kind of rhythm where that was done in Iraq. I remember Dick Cheney, all those guys, he just passed away. Powell, so many big personalities, they would have swear that they would have been weapons of mass destruction. That was the cry. They went in, got rid of Saddam, but it was later revealed that wasn't the case. They had no weapons of mass destruction, what they went for. So, you know, go figure. We have seen the template, we have seen the blueprint. It's a similar kind of dance, you kind of know what's coming, but at this point in time, I sit here every morning and I continue to say I will not fan the flames of fear, but I just speak to a historical track record and the current climate, and for all of us to just be on top of the news, but we have to live our lives and keep it pushing. And I feel it might be just military posturing to force Maduro to step out voluntarily, but then again, that option I don't think it's in them fellas' nature. It's not in their DNA to just step aside so easy. So we wait, we see, but we stay positive. We keep the focus, and we have to handle our business. Christmas around the corner, and we're getting ready for a new year, and everybody will have their own bills and their own personal lived reality that they have to treat with in the immediate future. So, with that being said, we head to the back page. We don't take too long with the sports on a Thursday, because obviously Ian steps in. Well, Charlotte to decide weekend after St. Vincent and the Grenadines general election, and I think Dr. Shallow will just have to naturally step down. I mean, or he could be West Indies, Cricket West Indies president and MP, and I would imagine minister. I mean, come on. He will have to, he says he will, he says here this, huh? He says there's actually no conflict. He says there's the potential to serve both, huh? He says, again, based on the portfolio that I am given, if I can manage both, I will proceed. If not, then I will have to resign. But we will see how it goes. We will see how the matter plays out in about 72 hours or so. And he says then a decision will be made. I mean, listen, both are serious responsibilities. One is to the cricket framework in the region. The other is to, obviously, the country of his birth and the country that he put up himself. He put himself up. And he's a bright young man, you know, very bright, very sharp. I mean, he's one that you would really hope is and continues to be in some kind of leadership role within the region. But we have seen with Jack Warner and others who tried to juggle the two, it will end up nice. So I don't know. I don't know if he will reconsider. But he says he can handle both. And we'll find out based on his decision as to if indeed he can. So we'll stand by for Dr. Shalow's decision in that regard. Also, well, the youngsters, goals like rain. That's the under 12 finals. National Primary Schools Football League. Well done. Well done to the youngsters. Arima Boys RC, you know, doing their thing. And of course, this was against Scarborough government. So to all the youngsters, well done. Football is in the air. Let's head to the brief this morning before we transition to the Business Guardian. Yet again, some more performance-oriented picks. And this time around, it's from Sapa on Tuesday, the Vistabella Presbyterian School, the infants doing their performance, and also really heartbreaking story, a mother denied self-help grant for dilapidated home, and this is a house there, Laventry Road in Samoa. Really heartbreaking story. I hope that other agencies, probably private sector or folks within the community, could come together to render some assistance to the lady here who's featured in this story. It's a good read, and I know around this time people, their heart is always open, willing, and giving. Let's head to the Business Guardian, and Anthony steps in immediately after the break to give me the latest via this development with Mr. Leachin from Jamaica and other top stories. Your Business Guardian breakdown. Up next.
Get a loan at Bremont. The process is simple. Fast and efficient approvals. Receive funds within 24 hours once approved. And no penalty for early repayment. Located at 4 Gallant Street, Woodbrook. Remember, we like to lend.
Ole, bring on the ham! Make it a Mac Foods Christmas! All over the land, make it a Mac Foods Christmas! The best tasting ham!
This year, make it a Mac Foods Christmas with T&T's favorite ham. We have pork, beef, chicken, and turkey hams, and even roasted garlic pork for the real taste of a Trinity Christmas.
Make it a Mac Foods Christmas! All over the land, make it a Mac Foods Christmas! The best tasting ham!
Make it a Mac Foods Christmas.
John Thomas presents
Believe, a Pop Star Christmas!
Featuring the Believe Junior Collective.
A spectacular holiday concert packed with favorite Christmas hits.
Pop star energy and show-stopping voices.
Be there on Friday, December 19th at Queen's Hall.
We're bringing the dazzle, the music, and the glamour.
Get your tickets now at Queen's Hall box office or at queenshalltt.com.
John Thomas's Believe,
a Pop Star Christmas! This December at Queen's Hall.
Get your tickets today!
This Christmas, the season of savings is here at Food Shoppers Supermarket, 121 Eastern Main Road, Arima, the J Chai Trading Compound. Enjoy unbeatable prices, plus buy one, get one deals on select items. Shop in comfort with wide, easy-to-browse aisles, spacious parking, and a clean, cool, fully stocked supermarket every day. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for updates and festive events. For the latest deals and prices, join our WhatsApp channel. Christmas starts with Food Shoppers. Food Shoppers Supermarket, bringing you love.
Before you take your omega-3 supplement, check for the natural products number NPN on the label. This unique code shows that Jameson products have approved rigorous Health Canada testing for safety and effectiveness. Unlike some supplements that carry disclaimers like not approved by the FDA, Jameson Omega-3 is the trusted choice, offering 1,800 milligrams of EPA and DHA for heart health. Choose quality. Choose Jameson.
Our connection is reliable, credible, and authentic. Thank you for trusting me to bring you the news. It's a privilege to be in your homes and hearts. With every story and every newscast, CNC3 is keeping you informed and inspired. When it comes to news, we are where you are.
Well, Anthony Wilson joins me on the Zoom line to break down the Business Guardian for today, Thursday, the 4th of December. Let me say season's greetings to you, Anthony. Great to see you.
Oh, many happy returns to you and the thousands of viewers of the Morning Brew. Morning.
Morning, indeed, and we thank you for the greeting. Let me tell you, I always go back to this story. I think I told you this already. The very first time I saw Mr. Leachin in person, I was at Hart Regency. He was coming in for some conference, and he's walking through the lobby in a white linen pants. And a linen, was the whitest linen I've ever seen. It was a heaven white. And the man literally flew through. He flew through the lobby, and everybody kind of stopped. You knew there was a presence in the building. You knew that wealth was walking into the Hyatt. It wasn't rich, it was wealth. So to see this development here, I am rather surprised because, I mean, that was just a couple of years ago. And he, from what I understand, would have been considered, at a point in time, probably the richest man in the entire Caribbean. This Mr. Leachin from Jamaica, the chairman of the NCBFG. I mean, what's going on? Why is the company or Mr. Leachin himself facing headwinds?
Okay, so the whole story of Mr. Leachin's financial situation is not entirely known. Ryan Becho and I did an interview with him maybe 2 years ago now, or last year, in which even at that time, there were indications that he had some issues paying off the debt or the bonds or servicing the bonds of 3 companies that he had significant interest in. And this is, of course, besides the NCBFG, of which he is the major shareholder. And I just want to say that the importance of NCBFG to Trinidad and Tobago citizens and companies and institutions is the NCB Financial Group is the majority shareholder of Guardian Holdings Limited, which of course is the largest insurance company in Trinidad and Tobago, and certainly one of the largest insurance companies in the region. So NCBFG is the largest shareholder of Guardian Holdings Limited. Mr. Leachin is the chairman of NCBFG, the NCB Financial Group. Mr. Leachin has over $300 million in bonds for 3 companies, AIC Barbados, a coffee company in Jamaica, and a 3rd company in Barbados. So one of the issues that Mr. Leachin faces in his, I would say in his personal life, is how does he repay the bonds that these 3 companies have issued worth over $300 million. So that's been a challenge for him. Those bondholders, the bondholders of those 3 companies, many of them have not received the principal on their investments, and the interest of those bonds has not been serviced in a timely manner. So the bondholders got together in a meeting in Kingston, Jamaica last week, Wednesday, and they heard from a committee that was established to deal with this issue. And that committee proposes to implement a December 31st deadline for Mr. Leachin's companies to make a first payment of, I believe the number is $94 million US. So yeah, and there are consequences if that payment is not made.
Wow. Keep us posted with that development, Anthony. It's a very interesting and, well, based on what you're saying this morning, far-reaching story, because this could also impact us here in Trinidad and Tobago. Before I go to your story...
As well, it's important to say that NCBFG is listed on the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange and has hundreds of Trinidad and Tobago shareholders. So what happens with NCBFG and Mr. Lichin is important to us, both because NCBFG is the majority shareholder of Guardian Holdings, and also because Trinidad and Tobago investors have money in NCBFG.
Yeah, of course. I mean, big money too. Big money would be tied up there. Speaking about money and payback and all that, I want to ask you really fast and pick your brain before I head to your actual story, based on the front page of this morning's Guardian, because I know you have a better understanding when it comes to the financial world and business. What's a non-cash option when we consider the payment? They said the first payment to the PSA, to those under the PSA, will be in cash on or before December 23rd, and they're going to try to consider a non-cash option. What could that look like in the new year?
I think there are two possibilities. One is, and this is an idea that was floated a couple decades ago, the last time there was a serious dispute between the government and the trade union movement about the payment of back pay, which is you give employees bonds that would be issued by the government. So instead of the employees in the collective bargaining units receiving cash, they would receive bonds that they can go to the bank or go to their broker and trade those bonds in for cash. So that's one possible option. The other possible option in terms of non-cash arrangements for the payment of the back pay is that the public sector employees could get shares in companies, shares in state-owned companies in lieu of cash for their back pay.
Okay.
And thirdly, and this is one that's been discussed by a few economists, is that the public sector employees who are owed $3.8 billion in back pay as a result of the settlement of the collective agreement for civil servants, employees of the statutory authorities, and employees of the Tobago House of Assembly. I guess the third option is that in terms of non-cash options is, did I say shares, bonds? I think somebody had suggested that they could get land or houses from the state. That's a third possible option.
Okay. Well, we'll stay on top of that story. Thanks for at least putting some of the options on the table. I want to head now to your story in the limited time that remains. You would have put forward a very provocative question last week regarding Republic Bank, and all, of course, we're seeing now the RFHL directors. They're going to be installed soon, and the question is, will this new team, new personalities pursue the government's agenda? What's the takeaway from the story, Anthony?
Yeah. I would say there are a couple takeaways. One, I looked back into the history of the arrangement between CLICO and Republic Bank a little bit, based on my reading of the memoir of Ronald Harford, who was the longtime CEO of Republic Bank Limited, as it then was, Republic Financial Holdings Limited, as it now is. And it seems to me that although the Republic Bank from maybe 1989 resisted PICO appointing a majority of directors on the board of Republic Bank, To cut a long story short, there eventually was an agreement that CLICO, CL Financial Group, could appoint 4 directors, but those 4 directors would not have been a majority of the Republic Bank board. In the last administration, the Minister of Finance, Colum Imbert, who would have been the corporation's soul, had the ability to appoint 4 directors to the Republic Bank board, but also that was not a majority of the directors on the RFHL board.
All right, all right.
So what we have now is a situation in which the government, which controls more than 50% of the shares of RFHL, is going to appoint a majority of the directors on that company's board.
Very interesting.
So that to me is where the origin of the unease that some people are feeling about the relationship between the government and the country and the region's largest commercial bank.
Well, Anthony, as always, sincere thanks. All the best. Be safe. And God spare, we'll touch base again next week.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jason. And as you said at the top, season's greetings and wishing everybody a Merry, Merry Christmas.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Anthony. Same to you and yours. Anthony Wilson from the Business Guardian Desk. Up next, we get into a very important conversation, and these 2 personalities, the president of the Private Pharmacy Retail Business Association and the PRO, they're making their rounds. We are treating with the pharmaceutical monopoly. Let's get some details after the break.
Plumbing problems? Don't guess. Call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646. Proud to be serving Trinidad and Tobago for over 20 years. We do it all. Maintenance and repairs, new construction, sewer lines, inspection, drain cleaning, leak detection. We are licensed and insured. So call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646.
Welcoming our new Christmas Executive Officer, all the way from the North Pole, Mr. C. Nicholas Claude.
It's wonderful to be here in sunny Trinidad and Tobago. No snow, no reindeer traffic, just making wishes come true. Santa, what exactly does a Christmas Executive Officer do?
My mission is simple: to spread Christmas cheer the Answer Bank way.
Can you tell us more?
Of course. Pay later on car loans, in one-home mortgages. Multiply your income by up to 10 times your salary with our personal loans. Plus, watch your savings grow with up to 2% interest on fixed deposits.
Thank you, Mr. CXO Santa. And thank you to Answer Bank.
Food Basket. Food Basket, nation's #1 supermarket, bakery, restaurant, meat market, fresh producers, everything fantastic. For everyday low price, things real nice. Come in once, but to come back twice. Wholesale retail, everything for you. A remush, a water, shop, flare, perfume. Food Basket, the nation's #1 supermarket, bakery, restaurant, meat market, fresh producers, everything fantastic. Food Basket.
Marketplace shook on us, where shopping is a pleasure and the price is right.
Struggling with blood sugar swings, high blood pressure, or stiff joints? Take control with Aja Nutrition's powerful wellness trio. Berberine Plus supports healthy blood sugar. Blood pressure support helps keep your pressure in check. And Joint Aid keeps your joints moving so you can stay active every day. Don't wait. Choose Aja Nutrition for trusted, effective solutions. Available at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Feel better, move better, live better with Aja Nutrition.
There's a brand new energy taking over our country. Feel the pulse when your day demands energy and focus. Grab a pulse and get charged. Feel the pulse of TNT. Our people, our energy, our spirit. Pulse, the brand new affordable energy drink, available nationwide.
Bring the magic home this Christmas with G-Mar Home Furnishers. Enjoy up to 30% off store-wide and make your home shine this season. From elegant furniture to modern appliances and more. Shop online and stay tuned to our social media pages for exciting weekly sale drops. Take advantage of our extended opening hours all Christmas season at our El Dorado and California showrooms. Call 235-4925 for more information or visit us in store. G-Mar Home Furnishers. Best value for your money. Hey. Get that.
Well, when you see certain developments via the news cycle and you recognize there's a particular momentum, one must recognize that it did not happen overnight. And I can safely say with no fear of contradiction that the president of the Private Pharmacy Retail Business Association, Mr. Glenwyn Suchet, he would have been here time and time again speaking to the public, putting the case out there for pharmaceuticals, well, the pharmacies, and especially the small pharmacies, treating with the monopoly that's happening, treating with some of the major issues. And a man who would have also lent his voice to that major discussion was and continues to be Anil Maharaj, the PRO of the Private Pharmacy Retail Business Association. So, gentlemen, I must say, when I saw some of the developments, and even the Prime Minister coming out to identify some of these ills, I said, finally, some headway is being made. I'm happy to know that the wheels are turning, and I guess we're getting closer to some kind of solution. So, welcome. Of course, compliments of the season, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and same to you.
Same to you and your family.
I mean, are you energized by the current developments? Is there a sense of optimism that finally being heard and there could be a turnaround within the sector?
Energized is putting it mildly, but yes, I am energized. I am very appreciative and grateful that the wheels of fortune and the wheels of justice are finally rolling to bring fairness and equity to the pharmaceutical industry, hopefully from the distributor's standpoint and view, and from the retail pharmacies, and all basically to the benefit of the population.
Because again, Anil, when we consider, and that's just something I would have learned from President Glenwyn, the fact that, yes, business is business, and you have your big players in the game. But when you consider the little village and the community and folks who might be living in a rural area, and they might get to a particular town, every town supposed to, and we are accustomed knowing the little family pharmacy, the little mamas and pops, that would have been there for years, and to know that they would have been out of business because, of course, they can't get product was a heartbreaking kind of development.
Correct. And the reason was because of mainly what we had in terms of the price structure that was happening with, in the drug market right now, whereby as we would aptly put it, the big fish eating the little fish, right? I mean, the corporate pharmacies that you see, the big chain pharmacies, have the purchasing power. And based on that, you know, the price level would be different in terms of when it is a small mom and pop pharmacy purchase it. So, as you rightly said, those rural pharmacies whereby you have low income persons and so on, they would not benefit from that unless it is that they go to some of these big chain pharmacy, which is more in the sort of urban areas. And I think we brought that out also in the JSC meeting.
So we find ourselves, is the Forex scenario still a big issue? Because I know many, I know of one person in particular who will go to Miami and they're coming back loaded with the suitcase of vitamins and different things that they really can't get from the local suppliers.
Well, the foreign exchange problem of the last couple of years has become a serious issue for not just for the average citizen in the country, but basically for a lot of the distributors in accessing and being able to afford to cover the full range of pharmaceuticals that may have been needed to supply the demand in the country. But without realizing it, this has contributed to the suitcase trade. This term we keep using, suitcase trade, over the last 20, 25 years, was really geared and developed or came into existence due to people going abroad and buying pharmaceuticals in Costco, BJ's, other countries, even off Rite Aid and Walmart or Walgreens stores, and bringing it in because it was not accessible in Trinidad. Now that suitcase trade, I would say, has developed into a container trade. So previous administrations and successive governments leading up to now has never really seriously addressed that problem in curtailing. And the solution to this problem, JW, is very simple. What is being sold in America, which is a stringent regulatory authority, don't need the kind of regulations that the Chemistry, Food and Drug want you. Why must we have to produce the color of the label and the ink that they're using and the inactive ingredients and things? Crap, nonsense. You create a problem and continue to proliferate its growth, and then want to send out inspectors and police, like in Operation Windsor, Mr. Maraj, to pharmacies to seize these goods.
You think it's to do with generics and products that would look like the original and might not be, and it could cause probably any
This is a separate and apart problem to generics. Generics, I am all in support of the administrations, the Chemistry, Food and Drug, maintaining the level of standard for the requirements in terms of generic drugs. We don't want to bring in anything substance. You will remember Minister D.L. Singh was talking about thalidomide and the dangers and that, and used that as a reference. That was in the 1940s. We in 2025. We need to move forward and upgrade.
Anil, wanted to jump in? Yes. Now, the thing about it is with regards to the registration of drugs, because I've been involved in that, that aspect of it, and this is not to put blame on the Food and Drug Department, but it has to be done through the administrative level, through legislative level. And I don't know, under Minister D.L. Singh, who himself was a pharmacist, did not see the need for that. Everybody has been clamoring for those changes. Everybody has been clamoring for those sort of policy changes and so on. Everybody has been clamoring for the reform of chemistry, food, and drug by getting more staff. Because remember, too, you have a lot of people now submitting drugs for approval as compared to a couple of years ago. So, I mean, there must be the need of actually restructuring the staff, restructuring the chemistry, food, and drug division and everything like that. And I want to further get to what Mr. Suchit was saying. I would tell you that with regards to the registration process, one size doesn't fit all. Now, we don't want anybody bringing anything willy-nilly and so on and this and that. I mean, we must have standards. But whereas vitamins, certain basic OTCs and so on, coming from these stringent regulatory agencies like the United States, the UK, Canada, the European Union, we could look at actually having a sort of laxed policy without all those stringent requirements that are needed.
Less bureaucracy, as it were.
Correct.
Is there a shortage on any particular drug at this point in time, and especially when we consider antibiotics, stuff that, life-saving stuff, or people who might be in extreme pain and they need a particular drug to just keep them level?
Funny you should mention that and call antibiotics. In the last 10 years, for some reason, the Chemistry, Food and Drug has seen it fit to deny practically 90% of the companies, small, medium companies, that have been applying to try to get the generic antibiotics of a high standard approved and enter this country. And it was my opinion that that was being done to proliferate the growth of the monopoly in controlling some of those branding products. We are way beyond the reach of the average citizen pocket.
Because it comes back to a cost factor to the average person.
Exactly.
The generic will be way less compared to the original, but it will be able to have the same impact, right?
The same impact. India is the generic capital of the world now. 50% of pharmaceuticals in America are non-branded or generic products, right? We have a particular brand from Canada, Apotex, in this market here for 25 to 30 years. Apotex is one of the most recognized brands. We have those. We have German brands. We have English brands. We have American branded, non-branded generics in America are manufactured in India. Now, we have developed a good relationship with the Indian government and the health sector there, and I'm hoping that a revamped chemistry, food and drug process registration can allow these things to come in with significant or the proper requirements, a certificate of analysis, a certificate of good manufacturing practices, certificate of free sale from the country of origin. If we want to bring a vitamin from America and that being sold in America to 100 and something million people over 20 years and no problem, why must we have to go through all that process? Our market needs to be opened, and the minister can possibly use his discretion in bypassing chemistry, food and drugs and allowing these things. Or if legislative reform needs to be introduced, we have to do it.
Anil, contingency plans, I'd love to just find out, as you're all here to pick your brain as it pertains to flu season, you know, lots of folks coming in for Christmas and even Carnival, and there's always this uptick with certain influenza and these different issues that come about, especially after the Carnival season.
Yeah.
Is there enough, you know, the supply chain is sufficient enough? Is there enough stock available around the length and breadth? Because, you know, people tend to panic buy, the hoard. Certain things you want, you can't get. Certain vitamins, certain, you know, drugs is sometimes not available at all. You have to be going to different pharmacies. Are we going to continue in that vein, or could there be a point where these drugs will be readily available?
Well, you mentioned something that is a very important point there in terms of the level of the forex situation. So that is one of the hurdles that we have, right?
Serious.
I mean, yeah, I mean, all distributors face that problem, you know. Now we are seeing probably certain changes where they are looking at probably through the Exim Bank to sort of get some sort of relief for those sort of essential items. So, I mean, we are hoping now that basically those things are examined and that, you know, we could get that level of supplies also too, you know.
To add to what Anil, I want to explain something to you, JW. If a distributor or a company accustomed getting X amount of forex and that has been cut in whatever percentage, they have products now that might be a high demand product. Let me just say something like Piriton. Piriton for allergies. In this country right now we have no Piriton. If you have a serious allergy, well, it have alternative options that we can recommend. If you have a constipation problem, you cannot get a Dulcolax tablet. Now, if the profit margin is very low for a distributor on a particular product that is the most necessary product that is needed in this country, they will stop bringing it because they want to bring the products that they're making a bigger profit margin on, even though they're selling plenty less. And this is what monopoly encourages. Monopoly encourages the distributors to be able to manipulate the market, all for dollars and cents. We, the community mom and pop pharmacies, yes, we are concerned about dollars and cents. We are concerned about survival. I'll give you an example of what my manager told me yesterday. I decided in my dispensary to drop down my market from 20% to 15%, which is difficult to operate and run your business with a margin like that. But she said, Mr. Glenn, I noticed something. We drop down the percentages, but every time we get in bills, the company price going up, so we ended up in the same price. So the distributor making bigger and bigger margins, and the pharmacies getting smaller and smaller margins. That is why the president at the parliament session indicated 38 pharmacies closing down. But as much closed down, more open. We have a oversaturation of pharmacists, and they need jobs. They need things to do.
Anil, we just have a couple seconds.
So the thing about it, in terms of what Mr. Suchit was saying, he's correct in that regard, but we also have to look at, as he was saying, all pharmacies have a standard markup that they use on drugs and vitamins and so on, right? 25, 30% and so on. But the thing about it is this, you as a patient coming to it, you are only seeing what the pharmacy, so obviously you're saying, well, okay, boy, these pharmacists and them, they're raising the prices and so on. But every week, and Mr. Suchit could attest to it, that the drug prices are going up and going up and going up on a weekly basis. You know, and that has to be examined.
Well, Anil and Glenwayne, I want us to obviously continue with the conversation. We have to run now to another segment, but I'm happy your voices, it's being heard, and we're seeing at least a momentum, and the winds of change are coming. And I'm really, you know, when I saw the developments and I saw the session going on and people stumbling and man tripping on the words, I said, my goodness, I said, oh God, hey. Right, so things happening. Keep me posted, and again, gentlemen, all the best for this season.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and all the best to you.
For sure, indeed. We come back with the police and news segment. That's up next. Right. Officer Russell, he's in the building.
All you bring on the arm, make it a Mac Foods Christmas. All over the land, make it a Mac Foods Christmas. The best tasting ham.
This year, make it a Mac Foods Christmas with T&T's favorite ham. We have pork, beef, chicken, and turkey hams, and even roasted garlic pork for the real taste of a Trini Christmas.
Make it a Mac Foods Christmas. All over the land, make it a Mac Foods Christmas. The best tasting ham.
Make it a Mac Foods Christmas.
Now this is Radical Trading, you know that? And them have everything to cover anything. Radical Trading have the best fabric designs for your upholstery needs, yeah? So furniture, car, boat, tent, even material for school bags.
This will look really nice on my couch, boy.
They even making pillow too.
Sprang.
Oui.
Oh shucks, I forget my money.
Serious?
They could pay for it for me.
Me and my big mouth boy, I want a Radical get thing to cover mouth yet.
Radical Trading, 4 locations nationwide.
We are your one-stop, most convenient, most helpful, most caring community pharmacy. Our pharmaceutical services include dispensing medicines, repeat dispensing, clinical governance. But we also have a fully stocked convenience store featuring our refreshment aisle, grocery lane, personal care products, toys, pet supplies. We are most conveniently located out of the traffic, just 2 minutes off the highway in Heartland Plaza in Devashagonas. Contact us on 220-8705 or 470-5938 and visit us soon.
Do you think all dishwashing soaps are the same? With some, they require more effort, and they don't wash as much. Try Dawn and discover its grease cleaning power. Dawn removes stubborn grease easier and faster than others. Additionally, it foam lasts 50% more. With Dawn, you use less product to clean more dishes and save with every wash. Dawn, triple grease cleaning power.
This Christmas, the season of savings is here at Food Shoppers Supermarket, 121 Eastern Main Road, Arima, the J Chai Trading Compound. Enjoy unbeatable prices, plus buy one, get one deals on select items. Shop in comfort with wide, easy-to-browse aisles, spacious parking, and a clean, cool, fully stocked supermarket every day. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for updates and festive events. For the latest deals and prices, join our WhatsApp channel. Christmas starts with Food Shoppers. Food Shoppers Supermarket, bringing you love.
Are you living with pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes? Manage it with the unique Jameson 100% complete multivitamin with 400 micrograms of chromium to lower blood glucose, lutein for your eyes, B vitamins for energy, vitamin C and lycopene for antioxidant support. Take a step towards a healthier tomorrow and make the proactive switch to Jameson today.
Step into ABC Doors and Windows, where quality meets variety. Discover premium wooden, steel panel, fiberglass, and steel security doors alongside aluminum, UPVC, and steel windows designed for strength and durability. At ABC, we're always a better choice, delivering products built to last and service you can rely on. Visit our showroom at 1 Chanka Trace, El Socorro South, or call 638-7184 to make your dream home a reality.
Well, I want to welcome ASP Russell. Always great to have Officer Russell in the building. And let me extend season's greetings to you, your family, your comrades, all those within the service at this most festive time. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a special good morning to Trinidad and Tobago on behalf of the Commissioner, Deputy Commissioners, Assistant Commissioners, First and Second Division Officers of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. And of course, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service wish you and your family and all of Trinidad and Tobago a Merry Christmas. We say season greetings to all.
Indeed, thank you so much. And we're getting into a time where lots of online fraud, that will definitely be part of the conversation. And we will treat with that. I want to ask you really fast before we get into some tips and some do's and don'ts. As it pertains to another online infraction, which is the online threat, what constitutes a threat? What would be considered crossing the line? Because I've seen recently TTPS and by extension the administration, the government, on a whole, taking on no nonsense, zero tolerance policy as it pertains to threats.
Well, firstly, let me say it's not really the government has taken a no-nonsense policy. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has decided that we are going to enforce the law. A threat, when you look at what is described as a threat, any statement to inflict harm or injure any person, from one person to another. An important part of that is that the person who the threat is being made to must apprehend immediate fear. So I must be of the opinion that, hey, he is really going to do what he has to do. And a threat can be made by any medium. It can be online. It can be via telephone. It can be dropping a letter in front of somebody or saying, I will deal with you. You know, once that fear is apprehended, you know, that person could be held liable. And we would have seen too, and let me just say that, we would have seen persons being prosecuted before the court and sentences handed down.
Yeah, and I mean, it's something serious, and I've said for the entire week, my own story where sitting on a plane next to someone who had clearly a life in crime, and they said to me, well, they gave me the whole life story. It was very, very concerning. But one thing I remember them saying, a coward says out loud what they're not going to do. So, you know, I will shoot you, I go chop you. But then that conversation was years ago. It's a different Trinidad today. So I'm thinking that as much as that might have been applicable back in the day, somebody might have said, hey, I go bust your head, Russell, if I see you. If that is said to you in this current climate and timing, you take it very serious.
And definitely. And let me say, without a doubt, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, we encourage persons to say how they feel.
So come and give the report.
We have no problem with persons stating how they feel. Share your views, share your comments. We want to encourage that free speech that you're entitled to under the Constitution.
So when you get a threat, you come in and you go to the charge room, say who gave it, how it came, and you get your receipt.
Yes, and you will get your receipt, because as we look at it, threat amongst an assault. You understand? Once that person apprehends that fear, and you know, long time, normally we would warn persons or treat the threats as other matters. We may call the persons now. In the Western Division and throughout the police service, there's a drive where persons come to make reports of threats and they indicate, well, I want him warned. We no longer want to do that warning that person over the telephone. We want to come to you personally. So when we come back, we can make pertinent notes as to warn John Doe on this date at this location. At the point in time, John Doe of this description was wearing that. So it would be detailed.
So you actually go to the person who would have delivered the threat and have a conversation with them?
Definitely, we have implemented that. However, it doesn't stop us from charging you.
Because you see, and you know what, I think I'm asking the team for us to continue our conversation after 7. So we will definitely get into the online fraud after 7. But let's continue with this threat really quick before the news. Most people, if they don't feel a confidence in the system, and I'm not casting any blame per se on the TTPS, but if the threat is not dealt with in a really serious way, sometimes folks take their own countermeasures. They go into their own defensive stance. And that to me is what, in a way, encourages the crime, and we see people taking matters sometimes into their own hand when they get threatened if they don't feel a sense of confidence. So again, I'm happy to know that you all actually go in to treat and meet with these people in real time. That's very important.
But you see, and what I want to highlight, Jason, 2 wrongs don't make a right.
But you have to understand too, Russell, that people is based on a certain confidence too.
Definitely. And you know what? Allow the police service to do what we have to do. You come and you bring that information and allow us to treat it differently. And the public, and we don't want the public to take the perception that it is being, there's persons in the background who is pushing for this, but we have to understand, say what you have to say, but respect each other, because if you put yourself in the other person's shoe, you would not have liked it either. We are threatening persons' families, their lives, and, etc. We need to really stop this and put an end to this. So we are hoping that the persons who were charged would set an example, they would use this as an example, so that we would stop this breach and this wanton and mischievous. Because look, even things we put into the domain right now that may cause the country to apprehend fear, we are in a state of emergency. And it's not only one legislation. You have the Offences Against the Persons Act, where you look at harassment. We also have the Misuse of Communication Act, where you use any digital device to commit any crime, including threats.
I think parents also need to have a very serious conversation with the children, because again, lots of threats, whether it be written, a video threat, verbal. People feel they want to say, they could say anything. You're upset, and people upset and they sometimes say things, but in this time in where it becomes your digital footprint, and the evidence is there, based on the law and the enforcement now of that law by the TTPS. It could be in a monkey pants. I'll have the closing remarks before we get to news.
It's so critical now that the United Nations, in their 16 days of activism, decided to place their focus on digital violence against women and children. So it's an epidemic that is taking place, that not only in Trinidad and Tobago, but throughout the world, which we would like to see come to an end as quickly as possible.
Well, I want you to stick around with me, Officer. Obviously, we will get to the online fraud scenario, and just a quick reminder as to how to avoid that going into this festive season, because yes, certain deals will come up and you'll see some real amazing bargains, and you want to get that nice phone or electronic device for your family to make them smile for Christmas, but you could end up in a monkey pants, So we don't want that. Full details and full advice after the 7 o'clock news. ASP Russell stays with me on set to get into online fraud after the news. See you soon.
And she tell me she must find this man, Alexander. Every Christmas she does come down to meet sweet man Alex from town. She wanted to surprise him, so she didn't call. She went searching all about, but can't find Alex at all. She tell me I want Alex.
Good morning. I am Jensen Leven with headline news on CNC3 and the TBC radio network. Former Finance Minister Carl Mimbert is warning the population that Friday's finance bill poses serious dangers to the average citizen through higher taxation and stiff penalties. The finance bill is a standard piece of legislation that typically follows the passage of the national budget. Its purpose is to give legal effect to some of the policies and measures announced in the budget. However, Imbert has warned that this bill will increase the ceiling for government borrowing, allowing political appointees on the Board of Inland Revenue to implement a harsh landlord tax. Imbert said the bureaucratic process for the landlord surcharge will adversely affect elderly people.
All these little people who rent in a room in their house just to earn a little extra change, this is targeting them. All these elderly people renting a little annex, this is targeting them. You have to register. You have to fill out a form. You have to identify who the tenant is. If the tenant changes, you have to go and register again. This is what this government is doing to little people in this country.
Both former head of the Public Service, Reynold Cooper, and National Security Minister Gary Griffith agree that there is no law mandating that the Chief Secretary has a seat at the National Security Council. While addressing a crowd on Monday night, Chief Secretary Farley Augustine made a call to be part of the National Security Council. This after the U.S. installed a radar at the A.N.R. Robinson International Airport. Augustine only learned of the development through the media. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar said she did not inform Augustine as he is not on the council. Griffith says the National Security Council is a subset of Cabinet and follows the British parliamentary system. Therefore, Augustine can be invited to the meetings, but only some Cabinet members are supposed to be there. Those were your 7 a.m. news headlines. We'll have another news update at 8 a.m. on the TBC radio network.
Kaleidoscope colors, fa la 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 la. Fill your home with joy and wonder, fa la 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 la.
Celebrate the season with over $40,000 in furniture and groceries from Kaleidoscope Paints. All you do is deck your halls in Kaleidoscope colors and win. This Christmas, choose Kaleidoscope premium quality paints every time.
Check social media for details.
Hey, every Christmas Santa have one plan to make sure he get his blue ribbon ham. Forget the rest, this is the one, the bestest in ham blue ribbon.
Even Santa knows a Christmas ham is a blue ribbon ham. Whether it's pork, beef, chicken, or even turkey hams, Blue Ribbon has hams for everyone.
Forget the rest, this is the one, the bestest in ham blue ribbon.
A Christmas ham is a Blue Ribbon ham. Get yours today.
Gaming Express Limited is a premium importer and retailer of the highest quality brand name electronics. We stock the widest range of PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Samsung, and Apple devices and accessories. Visit us at Shop 52, Level 2, Gulf City Mall in San Fernando, or contact us by phone or WhatsApp message at 687-7480 or 301-9797 or 798-1280. Like our Facebook and Instagram pages for updates on products and services.
The detergent smells nice while washing, but when you use the new Downy Intense fabric softener, with its new multi-capsule fragrance, it releases an intense scent that lasts twice as long. With the new Downy Intense, you'll enjoy a rich and delightful fragrance that keeps you feeling fresh 24/7.
My man, Andre.
Good night, Anthony.
7 years with the company, and we couldn't do it without Antoine.
Happy birthday, dear Alejandro. Happy birthday to you.
Who's Angelo? We're like coworkers who don't forget your name.
I'm Angelo.
CG United. Good like that.
You can make your goals unfold, go get it. You can live your dream, join the team, let's do this. You can get the help you need to succeed with Run Credit Union. You can believe that you can achieve. Big goals, small ones too. Run Credit Union, we've got you. No more waiting, that won't do. Make someday today. One life, so make it good. Live the way you know you should. With Run Credit Union, yes you could. Make someday today.
Live your best life today with Rand Credit Union.
Plumbing problems? Don't guess. Call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646. Proud to be serving Trinidad and Tobago for over 20 years. We do it all. Maintenance and repairs, new construction, sewer lines, inspection, drain cleaning, leak detection. We are licensed and insured. So call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646.
Well, we're having great, vibrant discussions. And of course, as per usual, every single Thursday, I'm joined by Officer Russell. And we're going to treat now with online fraud. And this is a time in where it brings out the best. I spoke about that this morning, you know. This season brings out the best in us, and unfortunately for some, the worst. And they use the opportunity because people are in a spending frenzy to capitalize and to lure folks in. What's the most common, I guess, the most common trap and most common item used to lure people in to get their funds?
I think we would want to say like the cell phones.
Electronics, huh?
Yeah, electronics on the whole. And one of the most common trap is via Facebook Marketplace. That, and we would have seen the Tinder platform would have given us, the TTPS, some stress. It seems like the more we come on air and we warn persons not to meet these people or come in the vicinity of a police station, not everybody's taking heed. And you know what, we will continue to speak to them until thy kingdom come. because we want the public to be safe. Because at the end of the day, we love the public, we care for the public, and we are concerned about what we are seeing going on within the society. So our job is to really warn the public before, you know, especially the deals that are too good to be true.
So let me ask, in the case of the product is exchanged, money is exchanged, you get the product works good for, let's say, a week. Is that also considered fraud, or it was a hard luck? Because again, there's no, I mean, is there any kind of receipt? Is that an official purchase? Is there any recourse for the person who you get the phone and let's say the phone lasts for like two weeks and then after that battery die?
And this is where your ability to do the relevant research comes in. If you're buying a product, and when you go on these other websites, let's say Amazon per se, there's always something called the reviews. To verify the authenticity of the seller, you could do your own research down here. You could discuss warranty with the seller. What I would advise is that you, the purchaser, ensure that there's some level of warranty. And not only that, you ensure that you have an ID card and a proper address for the person. Should there be an issue that the police may have to intervene in, we could really intervene on your behalf. Now, it could also be a private matter, a civil matter, in that when you got the item, it was working. It may have been working perfectly too. But who are we to dispute whether the person sold you a faulty product or you would have misused the product?
Yeah, water damage or whatever.
You understand what I'm saying? So it puts us in a bit of a pickle. So what we would ask is that you buy from authorized dealers, whether it's cell phones, whether it's TVs, whatever electronics, buy it from authorized dealers where you have a level of warranty. We are asking that even in situations like those, when the exchange is done, that you check your item and that the person who is receiving the money, that they check their money, because we have known in the past that persons would have handed persons an envelope full of paper.
What about you buy the item, but you get to find out after the item hot? And you genuinely didn't know. You really didn't know the item come in, it looked good, your thing approved, whatever, you exchange. But lo and behold, the item hot, Officer Russell.
Well, what we would advise is that you come to the police station and make a report immediately. Because there's also an offense under the Larceny Act where we can charge you for receiving stolen goods. And one of the key things is you knowing it to be stolen.
But if you don't know?
Well, if you don't know, hopefully you have a receipt that you could now come and give a statement to the fact that I purchased this at the point in time I thought I was making a bona fide purchase. This is the receipt, etc., etc. But let me ask you this. Jason works in the radio station facility. Then all of a sudden, Jason have about 6 fancy phones. I don't want to, market anybody else's phone. 6 fancy phones at an unreasonably discounted price. Wouldn't that raise some bells? Wouldn't that raise some red flags?
Yeah, iPhone 17 could be $1,000.
And that is what we call the too good to be true, because most of the times, if not all, the too good to be true deals are really too good to be true.
Yeah, well, I'm just so happy we're able to continue with this conversation, because for some reason people still get in catch, and especially with the dating apps too. So that's, a quick reminder to those looking on. If it's too good to be true, it is just that. Leave it alone, keep it pushing, and don't end up in this most festive time feeling sour.
And you know what? A lot of the time, your instincts would tell you something. That gut feeling.
Yeah, of course.
Would tell you, hey.
I follow your gut. Intuition is what I call it, the third eye. Yes, no, yes, feel it. Officer Russell, you be safe. Thank you so much. And God spare, we'll touch base again next week.
Trinidad and Tobago, it was nice being here. Remember, the wrecker is working and the weather. Drivers, please take your time. Have a great day and a great weekend.
I see you trending, so you keep it safe, right? Let's take that pause. We come back. Mental health matters. Ivan says up next.
Hands up, pick up me quattro to go with the boys. Before I hit the door, you start making noise. When they see I'm trying something new, I'm staying home with you.
Wellers hair care products for men and women, perfect for all hair types. Wellers carrot, tea tree, olive oil, and coconut jojoba oil shampoos and conditioners nourishes hair roots from static and tangles, lots of body and bounce. Wellers ginseng anti-hair loss shampoo prevents hair loss, repairs damaged hair. Wellers argan oil keratin and C1 hair mask, rich in vitamins and protein, enhances the color of your hair. Available at Modern Caribbean's branches, Pennywise stores, pharmacies, and cosmetic counters. Look for Modern Caribbean's logo on Wellers products.
At Bagwansing's, Port of Spain and Chagonas, we are committed to providing quality products for all major building projects. Let's build together with rebars and beams, BRC coils and mats, RHS and angles, roofing sheets and purlins, lumber, plywood and MDF. Bagwansing's, building homes, building communities, building TNT for over 60 years. Bagwansing's, Port of Spain and Chagonas, building value every day.
Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488, 701-6680, 728-6786, or visit our website to order.
This Christmas, John Thomas presents Believe, a Pop Star Christmas,
featuring the Believe Junior Collective.
A spectacular holiday concert packed with favorite Christmas hits,
pop star energy, and show-stopping voices.
Be there on Friday, December 19th at Queen's Hall.
We're bringing the dazzle, the music, and the glamour.
Get your tickets now at Queen's Hall box office or at queenshalltt.com.
John Thomas's Believe,
a Pop Star Christmas,
this December at Queen's Hall.
Get your tickets today.
Fill your slate with the best for less Christmas specials at Southern Food Basket. Butterball turkey, 6 to 11 pounds, $194.95. Butterball boneless breast, 3 pounds, $124.95. Goat stew, 4 pounds for $99.95. Swiss lasagna, 400 grams, 2 for $23.95. Swiss Econopack ketchup, 450 ml, 3 for $19.95. Danish Pride butter cookies, $19.95. With every $200 you spend, you can qualify to win a dream Christmas home makeover with over 100 appliances to be won.
There's a brand new energy taking over our country. Feel the pulse when your day demands energy and focus. Grab a pulse and get charged. Feel the pulse of TNT. Our people, our energy, our spirit. Pulse, the brand new affordable energy drink, available nationwide.
Before you take your omega-3 supplement, check for the natural product number NPN on the label. This unique code shows that Jameson products have approved rigorous Health Canada testing for safety and effectiveness. Unlike some supplements that carry disclaimers like not approved by the FDA, Jameson omega-3 is the trusted choice, offering 1800 milligrams of EPA and DHA for heart health. Choose quality. Choose Jameson.
Recession have you down? Don't lose hope. Head on down to Tire Clinic for the recession deals. Big savings with our road hazard warranty on Donald, Sumitomo, Falcon tires. Available at Tire Clinic, Couva, Chagonas, and Pleasance Park. Tire Clinic, a tire for every need. Call 636-8973 or 636-2958.
Just like I'm looking for action. Don't answer foolish questions. If you want to join a real, I can't stop. No,
Behavioral change consultant Johansi Audike joins me this morning. Let me say happy holidays to you, Johansi. Welcome. We are into what many call the festive season.
Correct.
Yes, and it brings out the best. And I continue to say, unfortunately, the worst in us. And I think it's for us to be patient and just to remember the true reason for indeed the season. And to me, it's reflection and really to spend times with loved ones and to give back and well, not be a lunatic, because that's where we're going this morning, right? They're asking the question and Johan says asking, are you a lunatic? I think most folks, when they get a question like this, the answer would be overwhelming no, but if we dig deeper, Johan say, I'm sure another answer may be revealed.
Correct, because if we break down the word lunatic, right? Lunar is associated with the moon.
Yes.
Right? And then tick, what a tick is, it's a peculiar, right? Habitual behavior exhibited by someone. So a peculiar habitual behavior exhibited by someone in association with the moon. Now here why I bring this up, because if you look at the origins of the word lunatic, it's because around full moon, people's behavior started changing. And they observed people's behavior, started behaving peculiar, and they would say it's madness. Now we use the word madness because we don't understand why somebody do something, right? So today is the first day of full moon, right? And just people viewing, you could start to observe and see now if your behavior change, right? Or if people around you behavior change. Some years ago, not too long ago, when I first learned about this and started observing, what I'd observe is people in my fet match team used to be more emotional when they come. And they used to play not as well. And even for myself, I realize sometimes I'm a little more emotional, right? So people viewing, you could pay attention to that. Now, what I also want to add is not only about the moon, but about habitual behaviors based on our timing. So we talk about the moon, so that's something to observe and understand. But also, people exhibit certain behaviors every Sunday, right? Because Monday's work or school, and whatever feelings they have towards it. People exhibit certain behaviors on Fridays or on weekends, because if you look statistically, I believe more car accidents happens on either Friday or Saturday.
But people out there, they lie and they're unwinding down.
Right? So there's habitual behavior that sometimes we're not even aware of that we should pay attention to. Tell me your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because, again, we go right back to this time of the year, the season we are in. It brings out sometimes the very best people who might not have been charitable. All of a sudden, once they want to give, and they're just in this mood. And you know, there are folks who also become the Grinch, become the Stooge, you know, no patience. Carnival is definitely a time where people, you know, you go into lunatic mode. Because it's either you take off your mask or you reveal the real mask. I don't know which one, according to which part they divide you on.
And some people put on a mask too.
Some put on a mask and some reveal what the real face is. I mean, that's I wonder. But we stick a pause. Let's deal with that when it comes to Carnival, the mask. But nonetheless, yeah, it's true. Because looking at the meaning of lunatic here, I didn't even consider it, and they really say it's to do with the moon cycle, and
you should look at it because sometimes
it's temporary madness.
Yeah, because many times we exhibit behavior, and if you ask somebody, well, why you do that? Many times people say, why do that, boy? I don't know. Yeah. Once you exhibit behavior and you don't know why, that's a red flag, you know.
Serious.
So everybody, I'm not judging the behavior, whether you want to consider it right or wrong. For now, it don't matter. But the important part is understanding why you do it. So if you don't understand why, that's the issue, right? So every Sunday you exhibit certain behavior. Every Monday you exhibit certain behavior, and you don't know why. So more or less, what is happening is that things outside of yourself affecting you.
Let me ask you: is it to do that behavior is to do with outside of your normal pattern? Because remember, most folks can have a rhythm. You have a particular rhythm to your day, to certain days in the week. If you go kind of out of what the rhythm is that considered in the realm of lunatic behavior? You being a lunatic?
Well, a little bit of both, you know, because again, it don't matter what it is versus if you know why. Because some people feel sad every Sunday. From the time they know the weekend end, they feel sad, right? But why? And if you could identify why. Every Christmas, there are people who exhibit certain behavior, as we just talked. Carnival, Easter, etc. Every time it's somebody's birthday, you know your birthday coming, you start to exhibit certain behaviors, or you start to feel certain things. It's to understand why. Because we live in a cycle where the same days every week, the same months every year, right? Most times now our behavior gets associated with something that is cyclical. And sometimes we don't even know why.
And the same when you keep on doing something for a while, it's a habit, and then that habit becomes like, I guess, your routine, your norm, right?
It becomes you. And that's fine, you know. But then always ask yourself why. why it is be doing this thing, why you feel a certain way, and that's the power of it. And in researching the lunatic is that's why there were behaviors that happened every full moon that people were unsure how to explain.
Well, let me pick your brain too, because we are also products of environment. So you grew up, and culture is part of that existence. And I guess when it comes to Christmas, I want to use the Christmas example. There is this particular, I guess it's more old school mindset that Christmas comes around and you have to do this cleaning and painting and you're tumbling the whole place. I mean, where that come from? I mean, you grew up knowing that, and it's like, that brings a lot of mental stress too. And the fact of the matter is that you're going through all of that and you can't sit down on the couch after you wash all them set of fancy plate and thing in the hutch and you can't use it. So what are you doing it for? I've always asked, is Santa going to come, somebody going to come and inspect your house and give you, oh, nice, clean, they could. I mean, that people who on the outside looking in might think we are lunatics for acting that way, but you come like you're born into our society, and that's what you grew up knowing.
You see, a good point. Whether you want to clean or not, again, it's not the issue. It's, you don't know why you're doing it, right? And if you say, well, I'm cleaning because it's Christmas, that's not deep enough. Why? What about Christmas? You clean, well, that's what my mother and my father do. Okay, why my mother and my father used to do it? And then sometimes we don't have an answer. So you perpetuating something that you don't even know, because the irony is sometimes cleaning up one thing and around the yard this Christmas is the worst time because it raining plenty. It's hard for workmen to do stuff. You have to pay them extra. The best time to do work probably is in the dry season when you're painting all those things. That's the best time to do it. If I'm looking logistically, even price wise, right? The best time to do it is maybe the beginning of the year. So why we do it then? Sometimes you don't even know, and that's my point. Understand that some of the cyclical or habitual behavior, try to trace the origin of it so you can understand why, and even for your own mental health, because if you don't know why you're doing something, then you have no control or you can't even manage it.
Yeah, it's true. I guess when you start to really dig deep and ask yourself as to why you're going to engage in certain behaviors, because the reality is, again, observation from family, the wider environment, the society, the culture. Yeah, we just kind of fall into certain things and
we don't even know why.
We don't even know why, you know.
You know, they say knowledge is power. So if you don't even have the knowledge of why you're doing something, you have no power over it. It's really that it have power over you.
But isn't that like culture? I mean, isn't that like, I mean, how do we really explain culture? Just, I guess, habits that have now become part of the fabric that even the unborn child, when they reach, fall into it and just assimilate.
True, but as we get older and we have reason, we should question why, you know, because I ain't saying anything even wrong with the culture, but if you don't know why you're doing something, that is the issue.
Yeah. You know, and I guess when you dig deeper, when I look at that whole cleanup stuff and the drawing room and stuff, I think that goes back to the colonial times, you know, that I feel, you know, we would have seen that from the English, and we try to adopt their lifestyle, and we're trying to be more English now than the actual English, because for the life of me, how much of people would have had chest, well, it's really chest of drawers, but we say chest of drawer. Right, your chest of drawer, your hutch and fancy plate and fancy spoon and thing and china that, if you touch that as a child, it's problems, you know. Right? It's handed down from generation to generation, and the reality is somebody who would have owned it, who have it now, eventually everybody's going to pass on, and somebody's going to drink more beer from that same cup at some point, you know. Eventually, you know. Right. Somebody who might not see the value and the legacy of the piece. So it blows my mind. I mean, I've seen family where it have certain living room. There's a living room that you sit down in, a family room, and there's a next room where you cannot sit down, you know. You just have to watch your furniture, you know.
Right, I grew up with that too. Right?
Yeah.
It's always the question why. Because even sometimes when I used to visit family, I used to go by the hutch and ask, I could drink from that glass, right?
You cannot. You're mad, you and say, from what glass? That's a watch. You can drink from it.
Right? And then again, somebody look and say, that is lunatic behavior, you know. But without even judging that is to find out why. If you understand why you're doing it, whatever is the reason, it's fine. But if you don't know why, and that is my issue, you know. Sometimes you ask people, why you do that? And they had to look up in the sky, they don't know. And so even people viewing, understand why you do something. Don't judge your actions yet, don't judge your family tradition, don't judge your culture as good or bad yet. But first understand why.
You think they don't know, they just can't express, they can't articulate it, or they just don't want to say the truth? They just don't want to say that this is from probably Victorian colonial time, English time thing, where handed down from granny to great-grandma to granny to me.
Well, it's a little bit of everything, because we as humans, we feel comfortable in things that we are accustomed to, even though we don't know what it is, right? So I feel accustomed seeing the hutch with the stuff in it, even though I don't know why. But when it's not there, or if I touch it, that is stepping out of the norm. So it feels uncomfortable. So I wouldn't want to do it. If my mother usually make macaroni pie this way, I grew up seeing that. It's hard for me to even put a little something extra, even though that wouldn't hurt, nothing wrong with experimenting. But this is what I see, this is what I know, and I feel comfortable, even though I may not even understand why.
Well, what an interesting conversation. I had no idea it would go this direction. We reached by the hutch, yes? We reached by the hutch with the plate and the fancy cup that you could never drink in it, you know, and somebody down the road, after all is said and done, will pull it out and put juice in it.
That's why this do now.
And knock it back and say, boy, look at this nice.
My granny must be vexed with me, but whenever I pass by my child at home, I might take a little drink in something in her honor.
In her honor, of course, of course. I mean, it's to use that what the glass was made for. But anyway, different story for a different day. You want to say, as always, I'll let you have the final word.
Nation, it's important to understand why you do something. Don't make life difficult, because even though life is not easy, it's really not that hard. Thank you for listening.
Question is, are you a lunatic? Well, I guess if we were to be honest, we'd have to say yes.
Sometimes.
in a way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, interesting. With that being said, I'll make some room to let Ian take you till 8 o'clock, that in-depth look at sport. Ian Weiss next with the morning shot as we continue with the morning brew. Have a great one. Ian up next.
Win a Brew car raffle organized on behalf of Queens Royal College. You have a chance of winning a luxurious Royal Ride Ford Ranger. Draw date Saturday, December 20th at the school. Tickets only $100. All proceeds for the further uplifting of the school. Tickets available at islandetickets.com. Lewis Appliances, corner Tragrid Road and Edward Street. Caribbean Jewelers, Twin City Mall. Mandarin Mini Mart St. Anne's. A. Moses and Sons, 181 Tragrid Road. Kwese Supermarket, Calcutta Road number 2. Strive Restaurant and Bar, Mukarapa Road. New Car and Auto Shop, West Mall. First Priority Music, Gulf City Mall. SNSR Food Center, Princesstown. Kwese Best Price, St. Mary's Junction. Romaines Hardware, Maraval. Cascade Minimart. Kelly Supermarket, Diggle Mountain Main Road. The Unit Trust Agency in West Mall. For more info, call the college at 622-1671 or the hotline at 491-1802. Queens Royal College Christmas 3-car raffle.
Presenting the most modern pharmaceutical facility in the country, Food Basket Hyperfarm Pharmacy Food Basket Complex, Arima. We stock the widest range of health and beauty products, baby supplies, stationery, fragrances, and cosmetics. Our organic, sugar, and gluten-free products cater to vegans and the health conscious. A wide assortment of dispensary medication and over-the-counter items at the most affordable prices. Make Hyperfarm Pharmacy your choice. Located on the compound of Food Basket Complex, Arima.
Visit Tire Clinic Marketing, New Truck and OTR Tire Service Center at number 30 and 32 Montrose Main Road, Chabonas. Call today at 665-8973 or 672-3419. Alignment services available. Tire Clinic Marketing, Truck and OTR Service Center. A tire for every need.
This Christmas, John Thomas presents Believe, a Pop Star Christmas.
Featuring the Believe Junior Collective.
A spectacular holiday concert packed with favorite Christmas hits.
Pop star energy and show-stopping voices.
Be there on Friday, December 19th at Queen's Hall.
We're bringing the dazzle, the music, and the glamour.
Get your tickets now at Queen's Hall box office or at queenshalltt.com.
John Thomas's Believe,
a Pop Star Christmas. This December at Queen's Hall.
Get your tickets today.
Are you living with pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes? Manage it with the unique Jameson 100% complete multivitamin with 400 micrograms of chromium to lower blood glucose, lutein for your eyes, B vitamins for energy, vitamin C and lycopene for antioxidant support. Take a step towards a healthier tomorrow and make the proactive switch to Jameson today.
Some of us like to test limits, but there won't always be second chances. Obey the speed limits. Maybe you don't value your life, but others value theirs. A message from the TTPS.
Sportsmanship is when an athlete walks off the court and you can't tell if he won or lost because he carries himself with pride either way. This quote is an embodiment of sport, and for me, sport is an embodiment of life. We are where you are.
Good morning. Welcome to the morning show. Thank you for staying with us. And we'll talk sport up to the hour of 8 o'clock. This morning, we are going to talk about some charity football, a charity football event that's coming up in next weekend. And you're going to hear more about that. But before we go into all of that and before we take calls at the second segment when we have our open forum, let's go to the back page of